record. We'll just do a very light standing warm-up and then we will get down onto the floor and do a very light bit of floor work. Abigail's just coming in and then, yeah, Abigail, if you push that door 2 behind you, that'd be great. Perfect, thank you.
Last time you said a light section, I walked like John Wayne for days.
I mean it this time. We've got heat on your side tonight, so. Feet out wide. And then just your arms nice and loose. Ragdoll arms round side to side. You don't need to move too fast. And just let your head turn to look over behind your shoulder. And then come into centre. And then steady your head, so nose forwards. Heel toe your feet in to hip distance apart. Hands onto your hips. And then lift one heel. And then switch, lift the other heel. So just walking on the spot, up and down. Feel like you're trying to send the front of your foot forwards. Opening into the front of your ankle and bending into the toes. How's Comfrey getting on? Is he in the ground?
He is, yes.
Oh, good.
Well, he was a bit sorry for himself yesterday.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, because the...
He's not like big gap to fill.
Yeah. Okay, and then swing your arm, so whichever knee bends, the opposite arm swings forwards. And then see if you can just go nice and light, and loose, walking on the spot. Good, and then both heels down, then both arms up, both heels lift, whatever amount you can. And both arms down and both heels lower, whatever amount you can. So you want to try and keep the control up and down and see how slowly you can lower back down again. And the first few are always your kind of trial ones, trial and error. And then you kind of get the balance a bit more in frame in your body. I always find my first 3 are really wobbly and then they start to get a little bit more stable. And then one more. Then the arms come out behind you, interlace your fingers and roll the shoulders back, stretch your arms back. And then just a light tap in front, tap behind, front, behind. And then all the way out in front, interlace your fingers, press the palms forwards and lift your arms up and stretch up. Pushing the palms flat toward the ceiling, bending into your wrists, mobilizing the finger joints. And then your arms come out wide, and we might just turn to face that way actually, and you're going to take your feet about as wide as your hands. Face the big window. Feet about as wide as your hands. So your arms are a lot wider than that. Good. Wider still. Wider still. Are you holding off, Sandy? That's fine. Okay, so then bend both arms toward the right. Which way is your right? That way. Both arms toward the right and bend your right knee. And then come to centre. So keep your chest facing forwards, yeah? And then both arms toward the left and then open. So your hands come together as you go over to the side and centre. Your toes are slightly turned out and you're just bending down into the knee. So you're not turning your torso. Keep your torso facing forwards. Keep your torso facing forwards. Your arms just like you're clapping in front of your chest. Yeah, like you're clapping in front of your chest, Ali. You don't need to turn your arms. Keep your chest facing forwards, hands together. Arms open. Hands together, arms open, that's it, yeah. A slight lean forwards, push your bottom back a bit more now. So you're still doing the same movement, but when you bend the knee, it's like you're bending into a single leg little sit down. Couple more each side. Sit back, open up one more time. Sit back, open up. Good, and then bring your hands to your hips and heel toe your feet back to hip distance again. And then you can turn around to face the front. Keep your hands on your hips. And then we're going to bend forwards from your hips. So you're looking at the floor and then come back up again. Keeping your back straight. Bend forwards from your hips, looking at the floor. And then come back up again. Keep your spine straight, your elbows wide. Couple more of those. Try not to round your back forwards, but to open the collarbones. So keep your collarbones really wide and go into as deep a bend as that your hips will allow you to do. So not the spine bending, but the hips bending. Couple more. Like your bottom is trying to touch the back wall of the room. One more. Good, this time go into that forward bend. Stay in the forward bend. And then round your back, bend your knees a little bit and let yourself dangle over the legs. A little yes nod with your head. Knees are generously bent, torso relaxed over your legs or close to your legs. And then come down onto hands and knees. Move to a cat-cow with an inhale. Let your gaze and your tailbone come up. And exhale, just to push the ground away, look towards your knees or your belly button. Do a few of those, just taking your spine through this nice little wave action. Fingers are spread. And one more. Good, then as far back as your bottom can go into child's pose. You could bring your hands underneath your head or you can have your arms stretched out in front, whichever one feels nicer. And then we'll just get a little bit more stretch into the wrists and forearms. So when you come up this time, have your hands so your fingers point towards you. Yeah, so your hands are flat on the floor, but fingers are pointing towards your knees. If your hands won't do that, Jane, turn the other way. So rather than turning, that's it, there you go, that's it, yeah. Yeah, so thumbs are pointing out, there we go. If you struggle with that, Sue, you're trying to turn your hands, turning them inwards. Turn them outwards first, and that way round. Oh. So start with your hands forwards. So that's it. Both, that's it, yeah. And then do the same with the other. There you go, that's it. Yeah, and if they only end up pointing out instead, that's fine. Have them pointing outwards if you struggle going backwards. And then just start to move your body weight back and forwards a little. Obviously, when you move back, you're getting a little bit more stretch into your wrists. If you're sticking with the fingers pointing out to the sides, then this will be mobilising your wrists both in forwards and backwards direction. A couple more, leaning back, trying to keep the heel of your hands on the floor. One more time. Good, then come all the way up to a high kneeling position. Nice, and then just give your wrists a little circle round. And the other way. A downward facing dog, so spread your fingers in front, lift your knees off the floor. Couple of breaths here, really press your hands into the mat and see if that can help you to draw your hips back further. Let your head relax. And then we're going to come down to sitting. So if you can walk your feet forwards to your hands and then lower your bottom to sitting, do it that way. But make your way so you're sitting with your legs out in front of you. And then just lean back either into your hands, or if the hands are an issue, you can lean into your elbows. Have your fingers pointing back so it's less intense on your wrists. And then we're just circling your feet round. And then go the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep your toes pulling up towards you. Bend your right leg. And if you can, step it over. If you can't, then keep it on the inside of the knee. And sit a little taller. Bring your left arm around the right leg and look over your right shoulder. And keep your left toes lifting up. Good, and then come back to centre and uncross that leg and straighten out. Feet pulled, toes pulled up, bend the left, step it over, and then wrap your right arm around the left leg as you twist. Keep the right toes lifting up. Feel like your right arm's like sending some love down into that left leg and really trying to hug it into your body rather than a semi-hug where it's allowed to drop away. Really embrace that leg, tuck it into you. And then come back to centre, both legs out straight. Make sure you've got space behind and have your band and both blocks available so that when you lie down, you're going to be able to reach them. Arms in front. You're going to roll down as slowly as you can. If you struggle with it, then you take your elbows to the floor as you go down. Otherwise, just rolling your way down nice and slowly. See if you can control your descent. And then arms over behind. Full body stretch with a wriggle. Right arm, right leg. Left arm, left leg. Keep doing each side, side to side. And then hug your right knee into your chest. Hold around the back of your thigh. And this time circle your right lower leg. So not the foot, but the lower leg circling round. Other way, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place that foot down flat to the floor. And then bring the left leg in. Once you've got hold of the back of the left leg, straighten your right leg flat. That's it. And then circle your left lower leg round. Again, we're not circling the ankle, but we're circling the lower leg. So the movement comes from your knee joint. And then change direction. And then place that foot flat to the floor. And both legs bent, so both feet flat to the floor. Good. Take your 2-inch block underneath the back of your head. That's not the purple one, it's the other one. Yeah. Good, and then take your arms up in the air so your hands are together. And it's like you're making a prayer and pointing the prayer to the ceiling. But let your shoulders relax to the floor and keep your legs quite narrow. Now feel almost like someone's put a big stone on the front of your pelvis. So just above your pubic bone and between your hip bones. And that lower belly area with this imaginary big stone heavy on it is sinking right down through to the back of your pelvis. And it's firming the weight of your pelvis to the floor. Keep that feeling. Open your right knee without letting that imaginary stone move at all. The left knee stays perfectly still. And then close the right knee back in. And then the left leg opens. And remember that stone is sitting on your lower tummy and it's not moving anywhere. And then bring the left knee in. You're looking at your hands, so your fingertips on the ceiling don't move anywhere. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhaling to open. The knee that isn't meant to be moving isn't moving. You can maybe just see that in your peripheral view. And if it is moving, that means then that movement will be coming down into your pelvis. Or you're not using your core muscles, but you're using your other leg to stabilize your pelvis. Naturally, we want to use your core muscles. So this isn't about opening your leg as wide as you can go, although it's fine, some of you will be wider and some of you will be narrower, but it's about using your core muscles to stabilize the pelvis. We'll do another each side. Inhale to open, exhale to close. Finish with the left. Good, and then when you finish with that left, open your arms as you inhale. Close your arms together back to a prayer position as you exhale. Inhale, arms open. Exhale, arms closed. Just 3 more of those. Arms open. When you exhale, feel back, sides and tummy all narrowing into centre. You don't have to have your back pushing flat to the floor. I just want you to feel the back muscles, the side muscles and the tummy muscles all pulling into one central place. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale, arms close. Good. Keep it there and just separate your hands. So you're still fingers pointing to the ceiling, but your hands now are 6 inches or so apart. So right foot gets lighter. Extend your right leg and float your left arm behind you as your right leg extends just off the floor. And then come back to your start position. Then the other arm and leg extend away. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And then come back to centre. Inhale, arm and leg extend. Exhale, arm and leg to centre. Good, keep going like that. The legs extending just off the surface of the floor. If it dusts the ground, that's fine. Nice, and then do 1 more each side. Keeping both the front, the back and the sides of your waist exactly as they are as you move. When you've done this one, back to centre and stay there. Interlace your hands behind your head. Elbows are in line with the tip of your nose. Okay, and again, so if you almost feel like you've got springs attaching the back of your pelvis and the back of your ribs, the sides of your pelvis and the sides of your ribs, and the front of your pelvis and the front of your ribs. And those springs connect your rib cage and your pelvis together. Inhale, and as you exhale, abdominal curl up and feel like all those springs tighten in to pull you up, especially the front one. But what we're not doing is pushing our back to the floor and springing our bottom off the ground. Keep it here. We're going to do 3 lifts of the legs. So you inhale, exhale right leg, inhale down. Exhale left leg, inhale down. 2 more each leg. Right leg lifts, right leg lowers with a bent knee. So coming in with a single knee fold. Single knee fold, Isabel, knee towards you. 1 more each leg, that's it, yeah. And then a left. And then lower your head down, pause, inhale. Exhale, abdominal curl again. So again, you want to feel the back, the sides and the front all narrowing and pulling you up. This time when your right leg lifts, twist toward the right leg. And then inhale back to centre. And when the left leg lifts, twist toward the left leg. Inhale, centre. 2 more each side. Exhale, twist. Inhale, centre. Exhale, twist. 1 more each side, I think. Is that right? Yes. And then last with your left leg, twisting to the left. Inhale to centre and exhale back to the floor. Nice, relax. Take the block out from underneath the back of your head. Take your arms out wide, nipple line, palms to the ceiling. Position your feet ready for shoulder bridge, but let's just do 5 pelvic tilts first. Inhale, exhale, tilt the tailbone up and push your belly button flat to the floor. Inhale, release. Exhale again, a strong pelvic tilt, belly button pushing flat to the floor. Inhale, release. Exhale, 3, tailbone lifts. Inhale, release. Exhale, when your belly pushes flat to the floor, see how much of your tailbone can lift off the ground. Okay, and then next one, let's do it where you flatten the belly button, lift the tailbone, pause it there, so you've got this real strong pelvic tilt, almost like your bottom is tucking up toward the back of your knees, and then continue to roll up. Roll up until you're in line with your arms, or at a point where you feel you can comfortably get to. Once you're in line with your arms and not going beyond your arms, they're your marker, roll your way back down again. And then release the pelvis all the way back down. Inhale at the floor. Exhale into the pelvic tilt and continue to roll up through the exhale. When you get in line with your arms, inhale. And exhale, roll your way back down again. Inhale as you land. Exhale, roll up. good, good. Inhale at the top, exhale as you roll down, and just keep going with your own breath, exhaling on the rolling action. Press a little more to your inner feet, Rachel, just a tiny bit, that's it, yes, so your knees don't go so wide when you roll. Yeah, think of your inner legs holding the air constantly. That's it. Okay, one more round. And whether you're doing just a pelvic tilt or the full roll up, next time you're in that tilt or in the bridge, stay there. Hover your arms off the floor, and then we're going to bring the palms together. Inhale as the arms open. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms open. Keeping your buttocks tucked toward the back of your knees. The ribs remain laying flat. And when your arms close, feel like your pelvic floor muscles now have a spring that you're loading that spring with your exhale to pull the pelvic floor muscles up and into the center of your core. 3 more. 2 more. And 1. Then your arms open and roll your way back down. Keep your arms open on the floor. Bring your legs together so inner knees and inner ankles touch. Keep your feet on the floor. Yep, but inner knees and inner ankles touch. Your arms are staying wide. Lovely. Take both knees toward the right so your left foot completely lifts off the floor, and keep your left shoulder and arm down. Pull back to center, so you're going to make a little imprint of your lower back, pressing flat to the floor. Take your knees toward the left, so your right foot lifts completely off the ground. Exhale back to center, pressing your lower back to the floor into an imprint on your mat. Inhale side, keep both shoulders and arms flat. Exhale center. I want you to imagine that you're holding a piece of paper between your knees. And let's give the paper a bit more importance. Think of it like a £50 note. Can you still get £50 notes? Or they stopped making them? Or a 20. And as you go over, you're trying not to let it drop or slide. Keep it firmly between your inner knees. So that means if you're going too far over, your knees are coming apart and sliding. You're going into your flexibility rather than core. So I want you to stop the moment you start to feel your knees either slide or open. And keep your knees squeezing together. Use your core to pull you back to center. And the side of your waist to pull you back to center. And do 1 more each way. Last time to the left. Finish on the left. When you're back to center, pause there. Take your arms back up toward the ceiling and interlace your fingers. Place your interlaced hands behind the back of your head. Abdominal curl, so we're squeezing up the back, the sides, the front. Stay here. This time we're trying to come into a double knee fold. So legs lift 1, then the second leg 2. And from here, tapping our feet to the floor 1 at a time. Right foot and then lift. Left foot and lift. Try to prevent your back from lifting or the pelvis tilting. Think of that heavy weight on your lower belly. So when you tap the floor, the stone doesn't push up. Last with the left. Keep the legs in a double knee fold, but lower your head and shoulders back to the floor and take a full breath in and out. Then inhale to prepare. Exhale, curl back up again. When your right foot taps the floor, cross to the left. And then center. And when your left foot taps the floor, cross to the right. Center, inhale. Exhale, crossing to the lifted knee. Center, inhale. Exhale, crossing to the lifted knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, cross. 1 more each way. Inhale, center. Exhale, cross. Inhale, center. Keep the legs there. Look at your feet. Do they look lower than your knees? Pick your feet up. If your back is tired or your hip flexors are burning, bring your knees closer. Lower your head. Take your arms back up in the air. Separate your hands shoulder distance apart. Extend the right leg and your left arm. Keep the sides of your waist toward the floor. And then come back to the start position. Left leg, right arm, extend away. And then come back to the start position. If it feels too strong, do it with your feet starting on the floor like we did the first round. So you can do it with one foot on the ground as you extend out and back. Remember that imaginary heavy stone sitting below your belly button, keeping the back of your pelvis weighted to the ground. One more each side. When you've done that last one, give your knees a little squeeze into your chest. Place your feet back down to the floor and turn onto your right side. Take the block underneath your head. We'll do the full sequence of chalk circles. So first of all, knees are bent in front of your hips. Arms are out straight in front of your chest. First one, we're going to bend your your top arm is your left arm, isn't it? Bend your left arm, let the hand dust across your chest and then open out wide, let your head turn. And then dust across your chest again, extend your arm all the way forwards. Inhale, arm pulls across your body like you're pulling a bow. And exhale as you go forwards. Inhale like you're pulling that bow, pulling it all the way back. And exhale coming forwards. Let's go 2 more of those. So there's a bent elbow leading you open. Last one. Then a full straight arm only. So your straight arm swings open, your head turns on the block, and your straight arm comes all the way back in. Just using your nice cooling breath in and out. Keeping nice and smooth but steady so that we can keep that cooling element to our movements and exercises tonight. 1 more of those. When your hands come back together, then we're going 5 circles up and round, head turns, all the way around. And use a nice full breath, as always, inhaling for the first half and exhaling for the second half. And see how slow you can breathe, so you give yourself lots of chance to slowly fill the air up as your arm comes round, and slowly breathe the air out as you do the second half. And last one. And then do 5 the other direction. So you start off going down over the knees and then the other way. Remember to let your head and your chest turn round with you, and to always bend the elbow. If you get to a sticky part, try not to have your arm rigid, especially if you've got any difficulties in your shoulder area, then a soft arm will make it easier. 1 more, going down and round. Good, and then when you're back out in front, can you straighten out your legs? Take the block between your bottom arm and your ear. So you've got that block between your bicep and your head, providing a nice little buffer to keep your head more in line with your spine. So your right arm is extended. You could use your cushion actually, Liz. Use your cushion, yeah. If you've picked a thin block up and that big one feels too thick for you, it depends on the width of your shoulders, then you can use the thin one. So we're there. Just, you want your legs so that they're not behind you. So if you can look down, you should be able to see the front of your legs and your feet. Okay, then take your free hand, fingers on the floor in front of you. Push the ground Bend your top arm, Isabel. That's it. So your elbows up and put your fingers on the floor. That's it. Push the ground down with your fingertips and feel your waist lifts a little. So the natural curve in your waist comes off the ground. And then feel like you've got a muscular zip from your pubic bone up to your belly button and feel that zip like it's lifting up and in. Then can you float your legs off the floor? Like your legs are shortened a few millimetres, and by shortening, they're pulling up into your hips. Both legs are off the ground and you're holding your balance there with your fingers lightly on the floor. If you're using your hand a lot, come onto one fingertip instead. Top shoulder relaxed, slightly rolled back. That's why we're on fingertips and not a flat hand. Flat hand we tend to roll into, and also flat hand makes us lean forwards more. Come onto the fingertips so you've got a bit more of a level shoulder line. Then let's try, if your balance is up to it, take your arm by your side and then float your arm over as you inhale and bring your arm down as you exhale. Arm over with an inhale, arm down with an exhale. And if not, you keep your fingers on the floor, that's fine as well. Each time you exhale, feel like you're just pulling that zip up from your pubic bone to your belly button again. And just one more of those. There, and then over, down. Hand back onto the floor, both legs lower, bring your top knee to the floor in front of you. Yeah, and then give the hip a little rub, so you're rubbing kind of the outside of the thigh from hip to knee. And if you can step that foot behind your straight leg, so your bent leg now steps round behind the straight leg and it'll roll you around onto your back. That's it, and then that foot can support you as you turn around. Once you've turned around onto your back, a few pelvic tilts just to reset the pelvis. So a few little pelvic tilts there. And then turn onto your left side. When we come round to the left side, both knees bent up in front, both arms in front. You've got the block for underneath your head. And we start with the bent elbow opening. So the top arm, elbow bends, hand dusts across your chest, open out wide. Elbow bends, hand dusts back across your chest, and you're back out in front. So that first phase is bent arm leading. Try and keep your knees together the best you can. And then a full straight arm when you're ready. The full straight arm opens and closes. Two more of those. Do you want something to do, or are you quite happy just lying there? Okay. And then you do a chalk circle where your arm circles up overhead to begin with. So we start with the hands together, and then you start the circle up overhead. That's it, and all the way around behind. Good. Try not to cut the end of the circle off. So if your hand ends up brushing over your forearm rather than hand by hand, you're kind of just letting yourself stay open the whole time. So we want the torso to completely come back round. So we're back into that forward facing position. And then when your hands next come together, change direction and go down over your knee and round. Nice, enjoy that fullness of breath. One more full circle. Good. When your hands come back together again after your last circle, then we go into the straight body position. So your legs straighten out. Straighten your bottom arm, putting the block between your bicep and your ear. Free hand on the floor in front, be on your fingertips. Legs are just slightly forward so you can see the front line of your legs. Okay, our fingertips on the floor in front are going to press the ground, and that's going to help you to lift the side waist, lift the legs, keep your balance with your fingers on the floor to begin with. Your legs have gone back too far, Isabel, so you want legs forwards more, legs forwards, forwards.
Right, okay.
That's it, there, about there, now lift them. That's it, lift them there, that's it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Are they up?
Yeah.
There we go.
There will be in a minute.
That's it, there you go, that's it. That's it. Okay, now you can keep your fingers on the floor, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to take your hand off the ground and go to arm floats, arm by your side to begin, and then inhale, arm over. And exhale, exaggerating that zip-like feeling from pubic bone to belly button. Couple more. Try not to let your arm go behind, but rather just straight up toward the ceiling and down. So we're not opening out, Ali. That arm all the way up. So your head's resting on that arm. That's it. There you go. Last time. And then when your arm comes all the way back down, hand back to the floor, and bend your top knee onto the floor in front of you. So top knee drops down. Give it a little rub from knee down all the way toward the hip. Nice. And then step that foot round behind your straight leg, swinging round onto your back. Good. Take your stretchy band. We're going to put that around the back of your right leg. Straighten your right leg up in the air. Around your right foot, I should say. And then the left leg staying bent on the floor. If your hip has curled up and you're in a pelvic tilt, then let a bit more band go, so that your pelvis can stay on the floor. Good, and then just breathe into the back of your leg, so your breath helps to maintain and to soften the stretch. And then keeping that leg in the air, put the other foot into the loop of the band, and then release your right foot down. Again, for now, bent leg on the floor, straight leg in the air. Okay, and then release the band off that, or release the band off that foot. Put it back into the right foot. And we're going to straighten the left leg down the mat this time. So left leg flat. That's it. Right leg in the air, left leg flat. And hold both bits of your band with your left hand. Yeah. Hold quite close to your foot. Left arm straight. Use your right hand to hold your right hip down. So put it into the hip crease, maybe thumb into the hip crease and push it down to the floor. Keeping your right hip down, see how far across your left leg can go, your leg can go toward the left. So that leg in the air is going toward the left without your right hip lifting. Just see where it can go to without the right hip lifting. Keeping it as straight as you can. A few more breaths. Liz and Sue, bottom leg is straight. Bottom leg straight, Liz. That's it, there you go. Okay, nice. Come back up to centre. Release that foot to the floor because you might need to reset your bottom, because when we take the leg across like that, sometimes it sends our pelvis off to the side. So now the left leg in the air and your left leg in the air and the right leg flat to the floor. Hold both bits of the band with your right hand. Remember to have reset your bottom if it feels like it's off centre. Good. So right leg is flat, Isabel, that's it, yeah. Use your left thumb in your left hip crease to hold it down and see how far your leg can go across. Again, we're keeping the left hip to the floor and just seeing what amount of degree we can go across. It won't be much because we're not designed to cross over very far in that direction, but it's good practice to not lose that movement, and it opens up the back of your leg, the outer hip. And then come back up to centre and then remove that one. And then bring both knees into your chest, one hand each knee. Use your hands to guide your knees in a circular movement, so it's like we're oiling the hip joints. And then go the other way. And then feet go down to the floor. Go to knock-kneed position, so your feet are wide and your knees rest together. Lift your bottom a fraction and stretch your lower back long as it lowers back down. Release your arms a bit wider than your feet. Turn the palms up to the ceiling. Relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. And just feel your thigh bones sinking down into your hip joints. A nice restful, open feeling in the hips. Soften in your belly. And soften in your mouth. Let your tongue relax. And then you might like to straighten your legs out. If you straighten your legs out, then keep the feet wide. Let the whole of your leg relax down into the weight of your feet or the heels. Let the whole of your arms relax down into the back of your hands or wherever you make contact with the ground. And the back of your head with your block or the floor. And then the front is all soft. So if the back of the head is heavy, your face is soft. If the back of your arms are heavy, your arms and your palms and your fingertips are soft. The back of your legs are heavy. The front of your legs are soft. Let your back be heavy and let your belly be soft. Completely relax. Have another minute just relaxing, doing nothing but just experiencing effortlessness. And take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Slide your feet in flat, but keep the feet wide still. And just windscreen wiper your knees side to side a few times. So feet wide. Jane, feet wide. That's it. And then whichever way your knees next go, turn your whole body over to your side. Lay on your side as if you've just woken up in bed. Push your way up towards sitting. Legs straight or crossed, up to you. Take your left arm out to the side and let your head fall to the right. Try not to load any weight into the arm, so your arm is just resting on the floor. And head to centre. Bring your left arm in, right arm out. Now your head's falling away from the right arm, and your right arm's just resting on the floor, but no pressure through the right hand. And then back up to centre and both arms in. Roll your shoulders. Feel all right? Does anyone break a sweat tonight? Slow enough not to get too hot and flustered. Although, I know it's still all right. But I was at someone's house just before this, and it looked very, very dark in the sky outside. So I think we might get a little bit of something later. Thank you, everyone at home. Bye-bye. Who knows? I'd quite like a rain shower